What I want is just that the horse learns to follow, to feel me, to respond. It's about the balance. It's not about presenting the movement as it would be in a show. And we go around renvers pirouette, so that's a reverse pirouette around the front legs. And that really mobilizes the horse. And also it's in the transitions between the lateral movements that you really prove the understanding. And half pass again. And the renvers pirouette. And half pass again. Okay, little walk break, and then we go similar stuff in the trot. I do it on a circle, so counter shoulder in. So the angle is to the circle line. And it's the same thing. He's no longer allowed to be just wherever he wants to be with his head, but I am working to do a slight flexion to the right. And a half volt in the counter shoulder in, so the hindquarters are in and loaded, and then we drift that into shoulder in, still on the circle line, quite demanding for the horse. Shoulder in, and then into travers. Yeah. And then a kind of a half pass across and into renvers. And he's very keen, and he the challenge with him is almost that he tries to do too much, that I have to just moderate, that he doesn't try too hard. And the renvers on a circle has a very good effect on the horse. So counter shoulder in. Again, working on the horse's balance, not wanting him to lean and throw himself or overbend in the neck to the side or downwards. Really focusing on the hindquarters. And a half volte in the counter shoulder in. And that flows into shoulder in. And it's about feeling the effort of the hind end. This is really the priority in the work. The pole and the head and neck is just a reflection of the back end. And you can kind of see that, like here, as the horse's back end gets good, then the head posture gets perfect, in my opinion. It's working back the behind first. And a volte and shoulder in, leading into travers. And of course, he's 5 years old. He is just 1 year under saddle. There are symmetries. This is normal. This is not something that we force. And then half pass into renvers. And I just look back to check my angles. These horses that are really available and flexible, sometimes it feels like they're angled when they're not. Okay, and after the break, I believe we do some cantering. So the horse, I don't spend any time putting him on the forehand in the warm-up. We just go to work. And the canter, I want to be maneuverable and balanced. Kind of the same as what he looks like when he plays with the other horses, because they do this very slow rhythm and they're maneuverable. So I went circle, and then I went corner and straight line. Corners, proper corners in the canter are quite difficult. We have just started them. And he's doing really well. Like he goes, they go circle. So the horse has to feel as if he was going to ride right through the wall. They go right into the corner, and I initiate the turn. That was pretty good. We do a little bit of, and then into the right lead. And Turbo's canter is so big and so ridiculously uphill that it was a bit difficult to get it organized. I don't mean that he was fighting me mentally, just physically hard to slow it and balance it. And so he's not quite been cantering under saddle a year. I started cantering about June last year. So I'm very happy in corners. In a small circle. So really building the exercises, understanding and willingness is number one priority. And then, so in that work to the right, he would have offered much more angle. So I actually wrote it straighter so he doesn't end up falling, overcommitting. We want to work to straighten the asymmetries, not to kind of take advantage of them. And it's these, the transitions from free walk to school walk again. I really have to present it well so he doesn't get tight about it. And we spent quite a bit of time on just walking. The horses with such a quick mind, it's important that we also just walk, just do the school walk. And that's the struggle. Both him and I are like, let's go do stuff, And then I believe I start to play a little bit with, counter canter. So we go change through the circle and he kind of scrambles and loses. It's not a problem. We come down and pick up the counter canter again. Yep, the left lead's more difficult for him to hold, but he gets it and I can pick up whatever lead I want at any time. So we hold it for a bit. Again, the head and neck is free. This is a struggle. Sharp turn to the left. And then I just repeat it because of the little scramble there. So I want him to be following my body weight. This is more like speed riding and working equitation with the young horses. And that was good. And the transition down was pretty good. So as the horse is less balanced in the counter canter, of course, the transition to walk is not so smooth, but it's good enough. And if you watch, you can really see this horse's hind end working. This is not some sort of a myth. This is, you could see that the joints bend, the hip, the stifle, the hock, they are working. And we do the same to the right. And the conversation with the horse is about the balance. It is not at all about head position. It's about where his feet go, the balance of the right lead, even though we're turning left. Again, it's not very hard. And I can allow a little bit more speed, just because, and then this transition is fine. Of course, it's on the true lead. And so this short little work segments, we are working on understanding, and today also just to show you guys. And so eventually work more longer rides, and also sometimes we do to hold things, but a lot of it is just the understanding. So here we go, counter canter, and I just wanted to play with doing a tight turn to the outside, which we have not done before, so almost like a half a pirouette. And he was a bit surprised, so kind of scrambled, but he did it. So I keep this idea of what the horses do when they play in the work. So we go right lead, find an opening, and a sharp turn right. And he's surprised, but he does it. Yep, and that's good enough for me.